Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, gamers of all ages, welcome to the first edition of the Bacon Bad Podcast at thebaconation.com. I am your man, Dan, here hosting the show today, joined by three avid gamers here, three alpha males, three Greek gods. To my left, Mr. Johnny B himself. Anthony in front of me. Kyle to my right, boys.
Hello, everyone.
How we doing, everybody?
Dib Zeus.
I'm doing fine.
We got Thor here.
Zeus.
Odin.
Gods of
Those
tits and
are
wine.
Norse, not Greek.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Hercules.
Starting off well.
Okay, well, whatever. We're not here
He's
to
so
talk.
much for God, he breaks the limits.
We're not here to talk about
Podcast,
Greek mythology.
Week in the making.
Okay, here we go, boys. Anyways, we're a couple days removed from one of the biggest conferences of the year as far as the gaming industry is concerned, E3 2014, and I'm sure we all have a fair bit of opinions on what happened. Of course, PS4, Microsoft, and Nintendo. Nintendo doing their own thing like usual, but it was a big conference for the two juggernauts, PS4 and Xbox One. Xbox One had something to prove after last year's beatdown at the hands of the PlayStation 4. So, John, we'll kick it to you first here. What are some of the things that stood out for you at this year's E3?
Actually, I'd like to take the stand first. Fuck this guy.
Okay. Okay, Kyle.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah. Actually, I had no answer to that. I just wanted to interrupt John.
It's good.
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right, John, lead us off here, man.
I don't know. Lots of new games. It was kind of mostly just stuff we were anticipating. It wasn't really. This is kind of a disappointing E3 for me because it wasn't really. I was hoping for new games to be announced, and there's just a lot of
Anything specific, John?
nothing specific.
You know,
We'll get to the specifics later.
Anthony, what about you, man? What did you see that you liked? Anything stick out at you?
Well, I just want to say, there's not a whole lot of exclusive, other than Nintendo, of course, because they're always exclusive. But to me, nothing really stood out. It seemed to me to be only just updates of stuff that things I was really excited for, and we'll get into that in a little bit.
Kyle, come on, give us something here. The fans are eager for one response.
One response.
Give us something. What game did you were most impressed by? What most impressed you?
well, ask it
Probably.
that way.
Oh, yeah. You give the easy question to Ginger Kid
Yeah.
over here.
Well, that's just fucking rude.
Kyle, come on, lead us off strong here.
Probably Rainbow Six Siege.
I agree
That
with
was pretty good
That was
turnout.
huge. Through the death of Rainbow Six Patriots.
Yeah.
From the ashes, Rainbow Six Siege was born. But gentlemen, let's just kind of go conference by conference here. We'll start off with Microsoft and the Xbox One. We'll go over what they did. They went first, so we may as well discuss them first. Gentlemen, Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Microsoft coming out big with, some are calling a rehash of games we've already played, multiplayers we've already played. Of course, Halo 2 is going to be revamped, just like Halo Anniversary was. John, is the Master Chief Collection enough to bring Xbox One up to the level of what some say the PS4 is already at?
I would say it's gonna sell some consoles. There's lots of Halo fans out there, and most of them were probably upset with what Microsoft did at the announcement of their console, but they seem to be backpedaling from those kind of stupid mistakes, and I think this is one step in getting those people back on their platform. I am skeptical of the price. I don't see this game, based on the history of Microsoft and their re-releases, I see this game being more in the $100 price range. Just because when they released the Halo 1 anniversary, one game was $40. This is 5 games, or 4 games. I don't see that coming out at a $60 price.
So Anthony, Halo aside, what did you think of the Xbox conference as a whole? Did you think they did enough this year to cement themselves back at the top?
I gotta say, I don't think they did. I mean, we're looking here. We're seeing, things like, Assassin's Creed that they announced that's cross-platform. Like, for me, if you're gonna go big with E3, you gotta bring something to the table that's not just Crackdown.
So you're saying Crackdown wasn't big enough to end with?
Crackdown was not big enough.
No.
For me. It just simply was not good enough.
I can speak for myself. Not a huge Crackdown fan. I did enjoy the first one. The second one, not quite as good. But what do you think, Kyle? Crackdown, a new Crackdown, is that good enough for you?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
That's pretty poor. Like, I get there's, awesome Crackdown fans out there, a little bit of a cult classic with the first one.
Yeah.
But to close a conference on that, like, I was expecting, like, Gears of War, maybe Halo 5 trailer, but...
Yeah. What was Microsoft missing? What was I know Quantum Break was a big one. I know myself personally, a lot of other people were expecting some Quantum Break stuff. We didn't get any of that.
Probably they should have ended with the DLC talk and, start bringing out some of their exclusives. All we saw was Call of Duty,
Come on,
Assassin's
John,
Creed.
you had to be pretty impressed with that Call of Duty content.
There's no Gears of War, there was a Fable, but it wasn't very impressive Fable. Call of Duty, nah.
Come on, Call of Duty DLC
Just another
first
rehash.
on Xbox One. You get
DLC do a month,
dude.
No way.
First.
360
Impressive.
no scope, bro.
Yeah, I'm so impressed by that month DLC.
One game that Microsoft did show off, one that a lot of people are eagerly awaiting, Evolve. Could be the
that game looked rad.
That looks like a
Yeah,
solid
that's
game.
insane. No, yeah.
That could be the revitalization of co-op play. I think
Is that a multi-plat, or was that Xbox One
That's
exclusive?
multi-plat,
that's
but
multi, but they did feature it in their conference.
I
that's
think
definitely
there
huge.
was like DLC first for Evolve.
Oh, yeah, I believe I heard that.
He's just shifting through his notes
Yeah,
here, folks.
exclusive beta and time DLC. So
I
it's
think
the
bookkeeper,
Evolve's
so-
gonna be, that's one of my most anticipated games. Evolve is going to be big.
Yeah.
well, that Kraken anime looks insane.
Yeah, the Kraken.
Release the Kraken.
I don't know
the
something or two
I
about the
told you I'm
Kraken.
Zeus.
I do enjoy myself some Kraken.
Usually it's in a bottle form, but how about the sequel to a very successful game, Tomb Raider, The Rise of the Tomb Raider? I'm not sure about the name, but you gotta be excited for that game.
Pretty awesome trailer. Love the first one. The name is terrible.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Call it fucking Tomb Raider 2.
I kind of wish they would show some gameplay. It looks like they're kind of humanizing Lara Croft, but they didn't really show any gameplay. They just showed her talking to a shriek about stuff.
Which, I mean, it's going to be like, oh, boohoo, the first game. Like, I'm
Yeah.
haunted by this. And then 10 minutes later, she's going to start
Like, are
cracking
they-
guys.
I think we're all haunted by the first game. That's what we're here,
That
guys.
was a
First game
solid
was awesome. I couldn't believe how good it was. It was one of the
it was a
surprises
very,
of 2
very
years
good
ago.
game.
That Far Cry.
I don't know about you guys, but I think it'd be safe to say Microsoft's biggest game at this year's E3, Sunset Overdrive.
What? Their biggest game was Dance Central.
Other than Dance Central Spotlight, we'll get to that in a
Oh,
bit.
bro, don't even get me started.
But Sunset Overdrive, guys, this truly looks like a next gen game.
I don't own an Xbox One, and that's the game that makes me want to go to the store and
Insomniac
buy one.
Games?
John, I know
Insomniac.
you have a past with Insomniac.
Resistance,
You're not too happy. They
Ratchet
jumped
and Clank.
Hey, man,
They
don't talk
belong
shit.
with Sony, but as long as they're making new games rather than making crap like Fuse, then I'm perfectly
Yeah.
fine.
Is Sunset Overdrive a system seller in your mind? Would you buy one to play that?
No, it looks too quirky to be a system seller. It's kind of like
It's unique though.
Dead Rising. It's not really a core
It's too
experience.
playful for
It's
you.
it's gonna get some people to buy it. Your core gamer that didn't want to buy it in the first place, and an Insomniac fan like me would buy it, but I don't see it as a huge system seller.
One game that some people say was a system seller for the Xbox One at launch, of course, the Forza franchise, very successful racing franchise, if not the most successful. I guess you could probably compare it to Gran Turismo. But with that debate aside, a couple new Forza games coming out. Forza Horizon 2. I was a big fan of Forza Horizon 1, guys. Is this something you're looking forward to, new Forza?
Not too big of a fan of racing games, so...
Unfortunately, though, it's not being made by Turn 10. It's by a different studio, Playground Games. I've never heard of anything they've made before, so we'll see how they go.
Let me drive a minivan and I'll give it a go.
They also showed zero gameplay of the game, so they're just announcing it. So I can't really feel too enthused about it until I see more.
You know what gameplay we did see? Dance Central Spotlight. So I know we're all excited for that one, guys. You know, the whole motion craze as of late. We're all pumped to get our hands on some more of that. But I noticed Microsoft, they had a fair bit of indie content. It seems like
yeah, they were really
I
starting
can't
to
remember the
bring it
name.
out.
Counted.
A program. They're starting a new program.
19 indie games, ID at Xbox.
Yeah, ID at Xbox. What do you think of that? Is that you like that or?
There's still some issues with their policies. Like, you can't publish on any other platform first if you want to be on their platform. So it's kind of like you should let people have their own freedoms and what they want to do with their games, even if they want to go somewhere else first and come to you later. But they're doing a lot better with self-publishing allowed, and through all their other policies, it's making it a lot easier. As you can see by 19 games they showed, but most of these games aren't exclusive to Xbox. They're also coming to PS4.
One big nostalgia factor, one big moment at the Microsoft press conference, of course, Project Spark with the addition of Conquer from Conquer's Bad Fur Day. Is that something where we pro Project Spark? No, yeah. No?
It's definitely a cool idea, but I thought that little Conquer thing at the end was more of a bitch slap than anything.
Yeah.
He comes out and he's like, "Hey, 10 years out of the game, guess you gotta make one." Like, fuck you, Microsoft. Where's my Conquer game? Give me that sequel.
Yeah, well, one game we know is coming, and this is the one that is supposed to be, expected to be the system seller. Anthony, Halo 5 Guardians. You jumping on the Halo bandwagon once again? Or?
No, I gotta be real with you here, Dan. I have not been on a Halo bandwagon since Halo 3. To be honest, I tried ODST, just kind of killed me a little bit, and I just could not get into Halo 4. So, to be honest, I don't give a rat's ass about Halo right now.
The Halo ship has sailed.
And I'm probably gonna catch a lot of flack for that, but that's all right.
So yeah, guys. Anything else in the Xbox conference that caught your eyes? We named basically the major games. We missed Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition.
That was awesome.
I like that little Capcom poking
Kudo
fun at
points
Capcom.
for the name. Definitely a very cool name.
If
for
you
that.
can't make fun of yourself, right?
Yeah.
Exactly, and especially after last press conference, Microsoft really needs to start making fun of somebody. So yeah, guys, Ori and the Blind Forest looked cool.
It had kind of like a journey type feel.
Journey. People like that stuff. Tom Clancy's The Division had a showing at the Microsoft conference.
Yeah, it made you see that it's more of an RPG than a shooter, you don't just shoot a guy twice and kill him. You have to shoot him multiple times and do damage.
I think that's going to be the next big thing. Of course, I think Watch Dogs was kind of on that road. It had a little bit of bumps on that road, but Watch Dogs was planned to be that next big next-gen game. I think Tom Clancy's The Division is really going to take that to the next level. The graphics look incredible. The whole game itself, the whole RPG elements are pretty cool. The gameplay trailer we saw, I believe, was at the Ubisoft conference. I think that game looks pretty cool. Kyle, Division, you looking forward to that? Or
I haven't been paying much attention to it. I mean, it's kind of like Destiny in a way. So I've been definitely paying more attention to Destiny rather than the Division, but from what I've seen, guys closing doors, it looks pretty awesome.
Well, to sum it up, guys, Xbox One, the Microsoft press conference. Just anything, last comments, John? Overall, what did you think of the performance, and was it enough?
If I give it a grade, I'd give it probably a B plus or a B. They showed off some new stuff, some games like Scalebound that could be interesting, but they didn't show too much gameplay for most of their new IPs that they showed off, so it could be anything really. The new stuff or the old stuff, the Call of Duties, they all look like the same old, and I think they have a strong lineup coming up soon.
Anthony, letter grade for the Microsoft.
Well, with Microsoft, I was a little bit disappointed. I kind of expected some more, big stuff and more exclusives rather than just cross-platform. Because, to be honest, I'll use Assassin's Creed for example. I have a PS4. I don't have an Xbox One. I will get it for PS4. It's not a selling feature for the console itself for me. So I'm going to give Xbox probably about a C. But ladies and gentlemen, we all know that C's get degrees. So be patient, and I think Xbox will really step up here.
Down the same path as John, B plus. I was really late to step up from last year. Games. None of this TV talk.
Yeah.
So yeah. Really wish we could have saw more gameplay. It was more just CGI trailers.
Yeah, I'll stick along the same path as you guys. I'll go B plus for Xbox. You got to give them credit, especially after the abysmal performance last year. They came out, they stuck to their word, they stuck with games. Although we might not be that impressed with the games they chose, still you got to be excited for another Halo. Evolve looked cool, even though it is cross-platform. Forza, great franchise, and I think they did a fairly good job as far as sticking to their words. So I think Xbox. They did a good job, and we'll leave it at that. The next conference we're going to jump into here, guys, the PS4, PlayStation 4. Unos, dos, tres, cuatro, if I'm correct. Sony, big winners last year. Can they repeat as champions of the E3 scape? Of course, Kyle, you mentioned it earlier, Destiny, big showing at Sony this year. I think Destiny alone, that proves that Sony is here to play.
Way bigger opening than Call of Duty Advanced Warfare and its DLC.
Dude, that DLC's pretty big, man. You get it first. That is huge.
I don't know. I'm not really. Destiny hasn't really piqued my interest yet. what's making it look so good.
Yeah, you see, I'm on the fence with John. I'm kind of a fence sitter here
It
too,
looks-
Kyle.
It looks
I was
just like
actually
a
sitting
Halo.
this weekend and playing the alpha. I mean, you got to play it for it to win you. I mean, it's just as awesome. Like it plays like Halo, but it feels kind of like Borderlands at the same time.
Oh, I love me some Borderlands.
You got to
What's-
check it out.
Destiny is the next game, guys. I think it's safe to say this is.
What's the story about? Has there been anything released or?
Humanity's been wiped out by this darkness called the Falling.
Peter
or Fallen.
Dinklage is in it. What else do you
Oh, I'm
need?
sold.
What else do you
Peter
need?
Dinklage, man.
Tyrion.
He's the Cortana of it.
Spoilers.
And then like this big like moon thing called the Traveler saves Earth, and there's only a few things left, and they're trying to fight back. You know, typical shooter kind of thing.
How are the graphics on it? To me, whenever I see video, the graphics look kind of.
Kind of man.
I mean, it's not like mind-blowingly spectacular, but you know, it's next gen.
This is gonna be the next one, guys. We had Halo, even Last of Us. You could say like there's only a few games you could call that game the game. Like just like I think this is gonna be.
Yeah, I completely agree with you on their day one pre-order and everything.
And just to show you, PS4 opening strong with Destiny. That shows you that they're heavily on board with this game.
So
Bungie's actually like really on the Sony board, like that console bundle with the white PS4 and everything. Like
they announced that the beta is first for PS4, and there's gonna be some exclusive
new guns,
Content,
the outfit.
but-
Bells and whistles and such.
doesn't really.
Peter Dinklage. That's all you
Peter
need, man. Just
Dinklage.
make it all the guns. Call him Peter Dinklage. That's really. Speaking of guns, another game that emphasizes guns, The Order 1886.
Super excited. For
I am
this one.
pumped for this game. I don't know about you guys, but just the whole Victorian era just looks super cool to me. We saw some footage of looks like to be some kind of werewolf.
Yeah, their werewolf monster thing. I was super excited to actually get to see that this conference. You know, a
Looked
little-
gorgeous, kind of
Yeah,
a
the
Dead
graphics
Space.
are looking
Definitely
really good.
looks amazing. You know, little survivor horror. It looked like in this trailer with the wolf beating around the main character. Can't remember his name right now. Throw him against some bookcases and stuff like that.
The thing that has me scared is the whole delay from going from
What isn't being delayed now?
fall 2014. But Sony needs some games, man.
Elder Scrolls, Watch Dogs was delayed.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
Elder,
if you go
Elder
by
Scrolls.
delays, then
Elder Scrolls isn't gonna be good anyways if you judge by the PC game. Yeah, but like, and just like seeing some of the footage, it looks a little clunky, but hopefully they still have a long time now after the delay to.
judging by some of the trailers and everything we saw, I think that's why it was delayed. You know, there's a little bit of clunkiness to it.
It looks like a nice
here and
mix
there.
between an action game and it has a little RPG element, a little
Yeah.
bit of survival horror. I think it's cool.
And I think the story, I heard them talking about it, and it sounds like they've put a lot of historical thought into it and
Yeah, I just
some
love
alternate historic
that
history.
setting and yeah, everything about it. Kind
Anthony,
of-
thoughts on this game? You seen much on it? Or?
I've seen a little bit on it, but it definitely piques my interest. I'm a big history buff, so I like all that kind of stuff.
I think the
so.
biggest thing in the Order's favor is the fact that it's different, right? It's unlike Destiny, which we compare to Halo.
Well,
the Order is its own thing. It's
Not really. I mean, it's third-person cover base.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's,
kinda
it's
Gears of
Gears of
War.
War, but with a cool atmosphere and
so,
story. to
but
it.
can you name another game that's similar to this? Can you,
Uncharted.
as far as gameplay, but story like
Oh, story-wise, absolutely not.
This
It's
is-
original in its own way.
it's completely new, which I think is its biggest drawing feature.
I think to go and be like this game has done everything new you can't do that anymore with how many games because they're still like Assassin's Creed alters history. So, but it is still like it looks a lot different than most
But
games.
it's you see games every year. Call of Duty, it's
Yeah.
the same crap every year. Even the
Yeah.
Gears of War games, it's
This is the era of the rehash.
It's
fillers.
nice to see a new IP where they started it from scratch, and they're going with it rather than remaking God of War like that studio has done before.
And,
Yeah.
You know, just how pretty this game is. I
Yeah.
mean, that and the little surprise we got, not really a surprise, but the little game we got at the end, you know, just those
Yep,
graphics
for
on
sure.
Sony.
for sure. Lots of sequels at the Sony press conference. Whole bunch of 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s numbers in front of me here. One I know John is really pumped for. Far Cry 4.
Yes.
Big Ubisoft title.
Yes.
Far Cry 3, extremely successful title. This one looks like they're sticking with the crazy, insane villain as kind of the drawing point.
Except they're putting it in 2-player co-op.
Sold.
You don't need two versions of the game to play
Yeah,
it.
man. You
One
can-
person
I don't
knows
know
you,
that-
bite your buddy.
That cover is pretty insulting with
Oh, pff,
Oh,
don't
get out
even-
of here,
with his-
mustard.
The guy's Asian.
dude. That's obviously
He's
racist.
Asian. He's
That's
not
right.
white. He's Asian.
He's-
How is that
That's
racist?
racist, obviously. Why not put a white guy?
Bringing you to a whole other thing now.
Yeah, we open up a whole whole can of worms here.
He's trying to play devil's advocate, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, John's a member of a certain clan
Yeah.
of 3 letters, so
PPP.
his views are different. But Far Cry 4, yeah, it looked gorgeous. We had some gameplay, a little bit of cinematic in
Yeah,
there.
you can ride
Definitely
elephants.
an interesting setting to take too. Nothing we've ever seen before. You know, riding
Yeah,
war elephants.
lots of cliffs. And
The
lots
only,
of,
my only detraction would be is the fact that it's similar to Far Cry 3. It's like, I remember when Far Cry 3 starts, you get captured. It's almost the exact same kind of scene. You get captured. The bad guy's a giant douche. He tortures you, does whatever.
The bad guys are generally giant.
The
douches.
guys-
Usually, but
the bad guy
that's
didn't
typically
torture
where you
you.
wanna hit for it with
He
the
like
bad guy.
joked around with you and left you alone.
it was very very similar to Far Cry 3.
I would say the fact that they're trying to go with an insane antagonist, that's kind of similar, but he's a little bit different than Ross. He's not like
he's his own guy.
he's not like all out there crazy. He's kind of like he
Plus, you know,
plots
he's
crazy.
Yeah, so that's obviously you guys
That's
are that in common. So you go head out for some coffee after with him. I'm sure he'll fly in on his plane from
yeah, that's
wherever
right.
he's from.
Burn some
I just announced bad guy voiced by my man Troy Baker. Love that guy.
Troy Baker. Good
I don't
man.
even know who he is. Who's
he
Last of
Joel
Us,
from
Infamous,
Last of Us.
Bioshock
Oh,
the main
yeah,
character of
okay.
Last of Us.
Joker, Arkham.
actually,
Origins.
yeah, I met Troy Baker and I totally snubbed him
Hey.
and beat Chris Sabat
Oh,
instead.
You met him? You
so-
didn't know who he is?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of my apartment.
Let's not bring up Batman Origins.
It was good. It was fun.
It was a letdown.
It was-
even Rocksteady doesn't acknowledge.
It
that
wasn't a
game.
Rocksteady game. You gotta.
Even they don't acknowledge it.
You have
They
to
know
view it for
quality.
what it is. It was.
Let's not.
It was a
talk
great story.
about it.
Great story.
Rehash. Speaking of rehashes,
Well, then I bet every Batman comic would be a rehash if it's the same character used over and over,
you got it.
which is a terrible example. But anyways,
At least you tried.
Little Big Planet 3. I personally never been a huge fan of these games.
Oh,
I played the first one. You know, it's a little quirky.
gotta-
It's a little fun.
You
but-
got to play with other people, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
it's
liked
just-
how the new character integration. I know you got different types of characters that do
got,
different
Yeah.
things.
got Oddstock. He's a puppy-like character. He can wall run. You got
Oh, that's cute.
Toggle. He can make himself big or small. They
Yeah,
have
you got
many
it.
things.
Oh,
They
like
had
the
swoop.
Ant-Man.
Used Sock.
Nobody likes Ant-Man.
You suck, man.
Everyone likes
Nip
Ant-Man.
Slip and all these other guys.
I think most people's complaint with Little Big Planet is that it's really floaty, so when you jump, it's hard to gauge where you're going to land. And they've said they have acknowledged that, but I've never really had a problem with that. So
I especially like with Little Big Planet that little sneak in November release date.
yeah,
Already.
and it's not Media Molecule that's making it. I
Yeah.
can't remember the developer. Sumo Digital.
That's obviously Korean. Anyways, Kyle, a game you've been a big fan of. John, obviously not. Infamous, Second Son.
What I say obvious? It's boring.
It's the main character's not Caucasian. So
Yeah, sorry about
obviously
that.
you hate him. But
Don't
Kyle,
get things started here.
you
Um,
actually did a review for us on this game. What did you give it first? Kind of go over your thoughts on Second Son and how much are you excited for the DLC?
Well, you know, Troy Baker, 10 out of 10. That's my final. What I gave it on our review is 3.5 out of 5. You know, pretty bland story, all that, but really fun gameplay. I really liked it, but, you know, not very different from the previous.
So, First Light, yes or no?
No for me.
No?
I'm not a big DLC guy. You know, I play the game, I'm done with it. I mean, if something comes up cool, then I'll pick it up. But
The thing with me with Infamous is that I like the first two because they were its own unique world that they created. Well, no, it's based, I guess not.
well,
but-
based on previous cities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get ya.
Whereas Seattle, like, I don't think games work where they take on a realistic setting. I think you need to make a setting your own. You could use inspiration.
Watch Dogs, Chicago?
Yeah, Chicago. Does that feel like a unique city to you? Does that make you part of the world?
Pretty
It
cool,
feels
you know, Wrigley Field.
feels kind of bland to me. It feels like it's just like a alternate reality.
It feels like they got lazy
Yeah.
to me.
Some good points, absolutely.
I don't know, why not in Edmonton? Huh?
Yeah.
No,
Where's
Edmonton?
Edmonton?
Let's throw a game in Edmonton.
We
Eh?
don't live near
We'll
Edmonton.
go throw that in there. You know,
BioWare, we could go nuke BioWare. Go see what's Mass Effect.
I'll wait for
edit
you.
that out.
racist. Now he's a terrorist. Jeez, this guy's gonna get some.
I'll wait for the new Dragon Age, and I might be on board with you on that one, John. But again, not our real names.
I don't care. I'm Johnny B, man.
Battlefield Hardline, Kyle.
My name's actually Jorge.
Battlefield Hardline. Me and you had a
He's a
chance
Mexican.
to play this beta.
That's
We talk about rehashes all night long. It's
Yeah.
just Battlefield 4 with a new skin on it.
could have easily done it DLC
I think this game should be a DLC.
Well, they haven't released or called out a price yet, so it could all be.
I guess, but it's
It's
Battlefield
it's
4
EA,
with a new
that's
game
coming
mode. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They have a couple different menu options, which I'm sure took them
Obviously, you gotta
months to do.
get it on PC. You can go through Origin.
I do love the game modes though. Cops and Robbers, very cool.
Yeah.
Well, after
Very cool.
seeing Rainbow Six, like I was kind of, this is my Cops and Robbers game now.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Disney Infinity, anybody? Anybody care about that?
Hey,
Hey,
Hulk is unique. You get Hulk exclusive for PS4.
Who doesn't love the Hulk?
See, I'm kind of out of the loop with these whole figure things, Skylanders.
Just plain sorcery. That's what it is.
Same.
Man.
It's ever
Magic.
since who did the first one?
Oh, it was
Skylanders.
Skylanders. Yeah, you just got.
Now we got-
And those kids eat that up. I've seen
Oh,
kids
gosh.
freak the hell out
They
of
eat them?
those.
They eat the toys?
Yeah.
They gobble them down.
I watched
some
like
of
a
them
full-on
McDonald's.
brawl
Hey,
at Walmart one
I
time.
may be
man. It gets
racist,
pretty
but I'm not
crazy.
toys list.
Yeah.
Snap.
Bloodborne, John. I see you're pointing at that. You want to talk some Bloodborne, huh?
From Software, this came out of nowhere. Make an exclusive title for PS4. That's a huge announcement.
For anybody who doesn't know, Bloodborne's made by the same people as Demon Souls, the original Dark Souls. Before they went on and went multi-plat.
It looks like it's a totally unique setting. Instead of being like a medieval setting, it's more of a gothic or I would say, just gothic.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good word for it.
I was going to say emo. I don't know if that's...
I've been listening to some the Closed Doors reviews on it, and like it basically what I'm hearing is it's Demon Souls, but a little faster paced, a little
Yeah.
God of War hack and slash action.
If you didn't like Dark Souls because it's too slow for you, it seems like they're gonna quicken up the pace a little bit. It's
Yeah.
still not gonna be your God of War jump around and
Oh
stuff.
no,
but
you're still going to want to throw the controller at your screen, but at least you get to do it fast.
You're gonna die.
I was surprised to see Dead Island 2. I don't know about you guys. Little trailer from them.
I did some research.
Dead Island 1.
Do you know who's
okay.
the?
Forgive me for my innocence here, but wasn't there already a Dead Island 2?
No, it was Riptide. Dead Island Riptide. It was just like a.
Standalone.
Yeah, it wasn't quite a.
I see.
It wasn't very good. Dead Island 1 had its flaws, and the Dead Island 2, or Dead Island Riptide, fixed none of those flaws, and made it 20 times worse. It
I gotta
was like,
say,
how do
though-
you make a game worse?
Pretty basic trailer, but I dug that trailer.
I remember when Dead Island, the first trailer came out for the first game. Incredible, one of the best trailers
Was
I've
that
ever
the
seen.
one when the little
Any-
girl flies out the window?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
One of the best. They know how to do their trailers.
Any
was awesome.
any
Yeah.
fans of Spec Ops: The Line?
I've heard
Not
amazing
really,
things,
not
but
really.
never played it.
That's the developer.
Okay.
They're developing.
Anthony, PS4. Any games catch your eye? I know you're a PS4 owner yourself. Anything on there?
Well, for me, I know John and I really like this kind of stuff. Mortal Kombat 10.
That's
for
a
me.
big one.
Dee, 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 dee.
You can't tell, but I'm headbanging right now. I love the big song. No, so for me, Mortal Kombat it's a big seller for me personally. I love fighting games, and Mortal Kombat was like the real staple fighting game when I was a kid that made me want to throw my controller at the screen and also drove my parents crazy.
Definitely being the first next gen version will be huge.
Street Fighter for life.
Tekken. Personally, I'm a Tekken guy.
I got it.
Fighting games at all.
I love Tekken. That's always been my
Yeah,
series.
Tekken's
But
up there.
No Man's Sky will have to be my surprise and
Dad,
or more
Gameplay
anticipated.
perspective, like
We didn't get
Yeah,
to see a
blew my
whole
mind.
bunch, but it definitely looks like we.
just looking at the game and how beautiful it is, and knowing this is made by 4 people, just 4 people,
Yeah.
and like
I
one
think
little.
flying around planet to planet.
watching the guy like exit out of into space and then entering another planet. It's like that was insane.
Do these guys
Like,
making this game sleep or what?
Oh, I don't know, man. I think I like sugar pills for that, but yeah, definitely, it looks like a great game.
very
yeah.
Minecraft feel to it almost.
people
Yeah.
wondering if this is going to be a multiplayer experience. I've heard them talking about the game and they don't want it to be a multiplayer experience. They kind of want you to, if you do meet someone else in the world, it's kind of going to be like a journey experience where you celebrate
They obviously want you to pillage and
Yeah.
kill him, but
Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
they're shooting.
Take all his
There's
stuff.
not sure like what the story, if there's going to be a story or any like missions or anything you have to do, but just based on like how different the worlds look and how the visual style is, it looks phenomenal.
No Man's Sky. I'm pumped for that one.
We could get back to games for a second, but should we get on to the flaw of Sony's
E3?
what
What
Who's
happened
ready
there?
for some powers?
What happened there?
Powers.
the
I tell
TV.
you, I watched that and I have no clue what it was about.
What was that? Sony.
It kind of just went way over
They
my
took a
head,
complete
fellas.
180 from last year.
Yeah,
like,
after throwing all these shots at Microsoft about TV, let's talk 10 minutes about this power show.
that nobody obviously cares about. Obviously, I'm sure it's a great show. The guy, whatever, he's a cool guy.
I'll watch it free for PS Plus.
But still, you don't.
members, I'll check it out.
This is a
Isn't that in
gaming
the States,
conference.
though?
This is a
So,
gaming conference. You
That's
don't.
States only free. I don't think us here in Canada.
Well, just give us the shaft, why don't you?
Yeah. Well, same with prices.
We don't got the
Yeah.
powers, man.
Let's not to get into the video.
But yeah, like
It's
they
like-
mentioned this Power Show, Ratchet and Clank the movie.
Yeah,
like,
man.
they broke Danny's heart.
like I want
Here
another
he
Ratchet
thought
and
of a
Clank
new
game.
Ratchet and Clank game, and they showed a clip of the movie.
Yeah,
The
he-
movie, like
He
the
was,
movie,
he was
looked-
just not.
The
Sounds
movie
to be a
looks
9-day
fine.
one.
Although they did announce that they're rethinking the first Ratchet and Clank, so that could be.
I
a new
actually
game.
forgot about that. Yeah, they did say something like that.
So, although Danny wanted a new one, I'm sorry to tell you though, Insomniac Games, they're making the game called Sunset
I guess I'll just
Overdrive.
have to wait for PS Now and
I guess-
download
oh, yeah.
and get their new one on PS3.
Speaking of PS Now, they announced when the open beta is.
yeah, big announcement.
And with that
Last of Us will be on there.
PlayStation TV, that looks really cool.
Listen to, I'm still kind of
I'm kind of mad about
confused
that.
what PlayStation TV does. I think it allows people to broadcast PS Vita games. So you
Well, it's so you don't need to have a PS4 in every room.
yeah, and
Which
also like you can play your PS Vita on a TV, so that before the only way to capture a Vita game was to like literally put a camera on your screen while you're playing it, but now you can hook up your Vita to the TV and capture that way. So that makes it a lot easier for people.
Project Morpheus, Anthony. You gonna be you getting into the big VR trend going on here? Or could care less.
I really have.
No.
I haven't looked into it too much, man.
No.
They didn't show anything for Morpheus.
They
I thought they would.
They mentioned.
Yeah.
They briefly mentioned it. You know, they're working on some stuff for
They,
it.
yeah, they mentioned it like Microsoft mentioned Kinect.
Actually, I swore they were going to come out like another big developer, maybe Media Monocool or whatever their name
Yeah.
is, Little Big Planet guys. Like I thought they were going to come out like big Project Morpheus game for that like, little tech demo on stage.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was kind of a little bit of a letdown for me
Yeah.
too. But
New playroom. New playroom stuff coming, guys.
It's got like you can customize your whole setting, so you can be more like a Twitch broadcaster and decide where you want your camera for
See,
your
that's
face.
cool. I
and-
like that. I like
yeah,
that.
that's instead of watching people have sex in the playroom, you can
I
actually
like
use
that
it for.
too.
Yeah.
You know.
Not
You
bad.
can actually use it for.
Shout out to Mike Lamerson.
it's kind of an apt name, I suppose. Then, hey.
Yeah. But I think really where Sony jumped leaps and bounds ahead of these other two. The other two guys is their ending, and how you can't end any stronger. than
Absolutely.
these late-
After all that TV, it just
I'm gonna
swing
name
for the
these.
fences.
I'm gonna name the last 5 games, and then we can go and talk about them. But they went after their spiel about movies and all that garbage. They go Last of Us remastered, big. Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain,
Yep.
GTA
Man.
5 for next gen,
Who cares?
Batman Arkham Knight, and the end with Uncharted 4, A Thief's End. Huge ending. People lost their you-know-whats when
I
they
am
announced
so excited. We're talking about Ratchet and Clank Mortal Kombat fans over here. Uncharted. Can't wait for
I'm-
Uncharted.
I'm-
4.
let's start off with The Last of Us remastered. Kyle, I know this is your favorite game of all time.
Well, I'm just about up there. Fantastic game. Pretty cool trailer, but
second
really
one.
spoilerish.
Yeah. Don't watch that trailer if you haven't played Last of Us.
Is it worth coming to PS4? Is this something?
Absolutely.
We
There's
need
so
this?
much people that jumped off Xbox and went PlayStation. Like, there's you yourself who never played The Last of Us.
Never played The Last of Us.
Neither
You
have
get
I.
Jump right on board. PS4, Last of Us.
It-
1080p, 60 frames per second.
It kind of does defeat the purpose of PlayStation Now, though, because that could be a drawing point of PlayStation Now. Is you
Absolutely.
could pay whatever you have to pay and play it there, but now they're bringing it to the PS4. So I guess it defeats one purpose, but in the end, you get to play a better version of the game. I didn't know you could make a better version of that game. It's my second favorite game of all time. Check my bio for my first game of all time.
Metal Gear Solid 5, touted as probably the nicest looking game coming
It's
next gen.
it's 200 times larger than Ground Zeroes, so it's probably like 2 hours.
I hope it is.
Ground Zeroes made me very wary of getting that. Plus, I did not
Wait,
like Kiefer Sutherland
With
as
that, with,
Snake.
with the whole, with that whole
Give me
fiasco
David Hayter.
aside,
Yeah,
the game itself looks amazing. It's they know what they're doing.
I think they should have showed more gameplay like they did last year. The gameplay where they're like in the desert setting, in the
Open
open
world?
world, you can see him like hiding on his horse, going to the side of it, and like that looked a lot better than just seeing like this random trailer of bits and the Hideo Kojima effect of a trailer that makes no
Dude,
sense.
he knows what he's doing, man. This is going to be
Actually,
a good
but
game.
the problem with this though is this is the 5th entry in a very convoluted series.
Yeah.
Well,
There's no way to just jump on board.
Like,
and
where
Metal
does
Gear
this
Solid
one?
5.
This
Exactly.
one like takes place between like the PSP game and
The
3
PSP
or something,
game
or
and
2?
That's after 3, before the original Metal Gear Solids.
Yeah, so it's like, what are you?
It's a prequel to something, but no, don't worry. They're gonna make it so new people can understand what's going on. It's like you said, it's convoluted.
It's enough
series.
about MGS5.
It's
How
gonna be
about
awesome. It's gonna be great.
Batman?
It's gonna be great. Batman's gonna be
Batman?
freaking awesome as well.
When he like looked out onto the open city, wow, breath
Yeah, really.
blown,
That game-
mind blown,
The 2
breathtaking.
trailers I've seen, I saw the first one there when he's getting ready in his bat suit and getting everything
Yeah.
ready for his night out, and then that one with the Batmobile racing around Gotham, just absolutely
The
amazing.
Batmobile is gonna be
The
cool.
Batmobile.
Yeah,
looks
that's a big feature
you
for
can
me
like
too.
jump
Yeah.
out, glide around, call it back, and land right back in it. Like that's gonna be insane. And like you can drive through pillars, and like there's lots of destructible
Well,
environments.
for
I
me,
think.
the best part of these games is the story. A big Batman fan myself, and the
Except
whole
for
scare.
Origins
Origins
back.
was fine.
Origins
There was
back.
nothing wrong with it, other than a few bugs. But the Scarecrow taking over the city. It's cool to see Scarecrow back. They showed a close up of his face. Looks kind
Yeah,
of
what you guys
mangled.
think of that, by the way? I thought
I
it was
actually
Works
thought
nice.
Sony was dropping the ball and they were screwing up their conference until Scarecrow showed up.
I actually
They
really
actually
like
gone
what
with it.
the direction they're
I
going
thought
with
that was
Scarecrow.
cool. I thought that was really cool.
Just on his own gas.
I
and
still
all that.
I still
Yeah,
want to
that
see
looked
what the
like it was-
Arkham Knight looks like.
Well, that's the debate. Now you got to find out who is it?
Cause,
Thomas Wayne?
That's no, it's the original
Thomas Wayne?
character.
Thomas Wayne.
It's original.
I'm
It's
gonna say it's
wrong.
the Joker into the mask.
No, it's Rocksteady got to make their
You heard
own.
it here, folks.
There's rumor
I'm
it could
calling
be Hush.
Rocksteady made their own original character.
Yeah, but it could be. A
They
character.
got to make this guy.
Jason Todd.
That doesn't say who's underneath. Anybody could be in the suit. Red Hood is a new character, but it's Jason Todd.
No.
It is. Trust me. I'll take
Yeah,
anybody
he-
on Batman. You want to go
you-
one-on-one with me, Batman? I'll take anyone.
No, I tried taking him one-on-one, and the Red Hood is in fact Jason Todd. I will.
Yes.
Spoiler.
It's a new character.
I
But
don't care. They knew what they were getting into.
anyways, that game looks awesome. Graphics. Oh, geez. Just watching the gameplay where he dives off the top there, glides through the city. Oh, orgasmic. Great stuff.
So
there.
you're gonna get that game then, Danny, right?
I will
Swear to me.
that geez, you don't have to put no battering to my head. I'm gonna be getting that game. Sucks it got delayed, but whatevs. GTA 5, next gen. We all played it. You know, it's been there, done that. You know.
I think the only version that I would be tempted to buy is the PC version, so I could mod it and fix all the bugs with the online multiplayer.
Just do it yourself, eh?
Yeah.
Every acceptance I gave to The Last of Us just goes out the window with GTA because that was multi-platform. Everyone's played it.
Well,
Like-
not PC people.
Oh,
You
not
can't
PC
lie, it's-
people.
it is kinda-
PC is definitely.
It is
big,
kind of
yeah.
cool to have it on PS4 though.
I don't think it's gonna look
I'm-
any different.
I'm probably even going to
Whether
get
it does or
but
not, though,
still.
it's a good game to have. It's a game that probably should have launched with the new consoles if they could go back in time.
I doubt it.
In hindsight, why not? That would have been that. You know how many consoles that would have sold?
Yeah.
Tons,
I know
millions,
7.
millions.
It would have been pretty heavy.
It would have been
I don't
huge.
think
It would no different than Last of Us if that launched.
But
with
they
the
did
PS4.
announce it's for Xbox One too, so it's not just Sony. But it was cool
Yeah.
to see them announce it at Sony because they have a history with Sony. They announce all their stuff.
All right, let's end off Uncharted 4, Kyle. Uncharted 4, Thief's End could be the last
Really
entry.
excited to see it. You know, still 2015 with all those leaves at Naughty Dog. I
Could be
got
the end of
pretty
Drake.
worried.
Is this the end of Drake?
I think it's the end of Drake. Even Nolan North himself has gone on record saying he thinks it's the last one. You know, I think maybe that's even why all these people left, the former game director and everything, because they wanted to continue on with Uncharted and they just said no and wanted to end it.
Well, yeah, Naughty Dog. They've
How do
had
you-
some issues lately.
How do you think they're going to end it? Do you think
Um,
they're going to kill him off, or do you
Nathan
think
Drake's going to walk up. He's going to remove a rock.
not how?
And a bunch of
Just like-
spores are going to hit him in the face.
you-
and he's going to enter the
Do you think he's going to die, or is he just going to end?
I think he's going to walk into the sunset.
I think he dies and they
I
get a new
think
character.
if they're gonna end it, they have to kill him.
I don't think
You
they.
think?
I think they
I
have
don't think
to.
it's that type of a series.
They get
though.
a
I
new
don't-
character.
No, they haven't killed any of the main characters throughout
Yeah,
the entire
I
That's
don't
series.
exactly why they gotta do it.
I don't.
I think we're going to get a cool another little
Tomb
Indiana
Raider
Jones like
crossover.
adventure.
Tomb Raider
Yeah.
crossover.
Lara Croft is going to
They
show
have a
up.
child, and then the series takes over with Drake Jr.
That'd be one badass child. I'm gonna tell you that.
Yeah. Well, jeez, that'd be
No
awesome.
killing that kid. But yeah, I definitely think it's going to be a little happy ending. You're going to see Nathan, Salty, and Elena just skip into the sunset,
And then get hit by a boat,
and then the spores are going to hit them. Last of Us.
eaten by a shark.
Some quick final points.
He's got the notes out.
It was also announced. I don't know if there's any Grim Fandango fans out there, but Tim Schafer is going to be remaking the old school Venture game.
They definitely enforced the fact that Tim Schafer's working on it.
Yep.
Maybe a little bit much, but
Also, in their indie show, they showed that Broforce is coming to PS4 and Vita. Broforce,
Oh, bro.
get it. It looks awesome.
system seller.
System seller.
Come at me, bro.
I watched the Angry Joe show play it, and it looked like the funnest game ever. It's you can play as Rambo or Indiana Jones. It's like
Batman.
so. I don't think
not
Mr.
buying
T was there.
Joel?
Well, let's probably end this off with the biggest announcement, though. YouTube coming to PS4. That's huge, guys.
That's gonna be big
pretty
for
good.
us.
That's gonna
That's
be
huge.
good. It's gonna
Put
be
our videos up on YouTube now instead of on UPlay.
Last Guardian's dead. Sorry to say it.
I
but
guess final.
it might come
grades?
back. I don't know. Yeah, let's give our final grades here. Sony, PlayStation 4. Kyle,
Come back to me.
come back. Oh, bust the answer right there.
I'm gonna say
We got a bust over here.
A minus. Just with that ending, they just hit after hit.
Uncharted, Batman, like the games they showed. That's an A for me. That's an A.
They had some heavy hitters, even though all we
Even
were
if-
complaining Microsoft, not all of them are Sony exclusive.
Yeah,
but
whatever. They're it's the fact that
You know,
they
good
showed
show.
it. Yeah, we're judging them on their conference, and that conference was badass. So I give them an A. Anthony, what do you think, Sony?
Yeah, I'm gonna give Sony a very solid A. I mean, it's tough to compete, with that just hit bombarding you at the end there.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give them. I would have gave them an A minus, but then that Powers fiasco
Yeah.
and the ending there, it kind of
derailed it. A bit.
derailed a little bit. So I'm gonna give them probably a tie or maybe a little bit above Microsoft. But in the end, I think they both showed that the future is bright. Right now is not too good, but in the future, if you look for 2015 to find most of your games.
Great stuff. Moving on to the greatest video game company known to man.
Oh, good old Nintendo.
The greatest video game company known to man.
Let's see how many different Mario games they released
Reggie,
today.
where art thou? You are my homeboy, Reggie. If you're listening, man, I love you.
He's too busy fighting Iwata.
Yeah. Reggie fight scene. That was something special here, guys. That's one thing Microsoft and Sony cannot match.
where were my Kamehamehas?
Reggie can fight.
They could match that. Just have
Dude, this guy should be
Jack Trenton versus I don't know Kaz Hirai.
Wait. You know who Jack Trenton, obviously, you know who should fight him. Don Matrick,
Don
where are
Ma-
you?
oh,
Zynga,
geez,
baby.
yeah.
Don Matrick, you're my man. I love you. I missed you this year. You single-handedly destroyed.
Rest in peace.
You single-handedly brought down the Xbox One, and I love you for it. You were awesome. So Nintendo, guys, Yoshi's Woolly World.
I
What do you want to say about
it
it?
looks.
Yeah.
Come on, Anthony, you gotta be pumped for Yoshi's Woolly World.
Guys, I will say, I'm a '90s kid. I grew up and I played Yoshi's Story, and the more I look at this game, the more I want to puke. A bunch
He's
of
made a
woolly
wall, man.
eggs
Come on.
all over the ground.
So
you
we
know,
expecting a
it's-
crossover with Yoshi and Kirby's Woolly World?
I noticed Kirby did a
Kirby's
wool
Epic
game.
Yarn. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the big
I don't
wool
know.
trend? Like,
Somehow Microsoft, Nintendo can get away with charging full price for games that if you go to Sony or Microsoft would be indie games, $20 games. Like Yoshi's Woolly World looks like a cool concept. It looks like they're gonna use the wool to unique gameplay, and you guys laugh because you don't like those type of games, but I do. And I don't see myself paying $60 for that game. I would love to get it for $20. That would be a really good buy. But
dude, Reggie needs his Lamborghinis. He ain't
I
getting
just-
$20. Ain't getting him no Lamborghini.
also, I think the whole problem is the fact that it's Yoshi. They could. Why not make it a different? Why does it have to be a Yoshi game? Why
Yeah.
not make a different character and have them be the whole yarn? That's their whole thing.
Yeah, that's their
Well,
whole
that's
shit.
Kirby and
That's Nintendo's thing, though. That's all they do. The same characters. on a
clearly.
They pay with Mario.
I just announced Mario's knitting adventure.
Yeah, that's right. Jeez. Play Mario as an 80-year-old man with arthritis. Another Mario character that's making his rounds. Captain Toad, Treasure Tracker.
Would you classify this as a new IP?
Well, Toad. Never
I
seen
know.
much Toad solo, so
But it just looks like a Toad game
It's just
in a Mario universe. It looks like
cue
Mario,
the Family Guy Toad
Super
song.
Mario Bros, but Super Toad Bros.
This is a new Super Luigi Bros. U all over
Yeah,
again.
yeah.
It's just-
It's the year of Toad, everyone.
Hide your kids and hide your
I
husbands.
just
You gotta give him mad props from picking a character other than Mario. Though.
once,
That
once
could be-
again,
How about you
we
just
just
give
think-
me a new Mario game? Like, this is what we're playing here.
once again, I would pick up this game for $20 and it'd be really good. But I don't see how you can charge me $60 for that game.
I'm
and say it's
still
worth the
waiting for
content.
Waluigi solo out.
Yeah.
Yeah, see that I'll pay my left arm for that.
Or
game.
like, why not like Peach and the Girls? Like,
Pillow fights. Peach's
No,
Slumber Party.
what's
There you go,
the-
Nintendo.
what's
Peach's
the
Slumber
beach
Party.
fighting game?
Ones with like that
Big-
objectified girl.
Oh,
Yes.
Dead or Alive.
Yes, Dead or Alive Peach Edition.
No, this is a family console, John. Not only are you a racist, a member of a three-letter clan, but you're also a
Peach's Beach
womanizer.
volleyball.
Terrible man. Here we are. Mario Maker, though. Jesus, this is huge. This is huge. Being able to make your own Mario levels and play them.
I think it's a really, really cool idea. I mean, we have all these, like, make your own little games, you know,
Yeah.
not Sunset Overdrive, Project Spark, Little Big Planet. Now we got a Mario one.
I see myself getting bored of that game. After
Dude, you
an
can
hour.
make so many levels.
You can make so many things that you can jump in.
Yeah,
yeah.
So many red shells to stomp on.
dude.
So many coins.
Yeah, there might be some green ones. You
Yeah,
never know,
green.
man. You never know.
Come on, Anthony. You gotta be into this. You're a big Mario guy.
I'm not necessarily a big Mario guy, but I'm more of a. I just want to like screw with John kind of guy. but I think I can get excited for this game. I mean, when I was younger, I used to love watching Mario Frustration on YouTube,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm sure all of you guys have. And I can't wait to get into it. I think I'll dabble into this game.
Oh, yeah, that looks cool. Something different, right? Why not? Why not?
I mean, like, I don't know how much creative options there are in the game, but
Yeah,
some,
the
like,
whole time-
Trials Evolution, like, look at what people have done with that game.
Yeah, exactly.
Bayonetta 2. Don't care. Move on.
Wait, what?
Bayonetta
true.
2. Yeah, whatever.
Just
Just
Very cult classic, the first one. I don't think any of us are interested.
A little
though,
strange.
so.
I thought it was a little weird, but
Yeah.
that's me.
You should thank, if you are a fan of Bayonetta, thank Nintendo for picking this one up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there
There
are
are
just
lots
dead
of-
without them.
Nobody
There
else
are-
is willing to run with it.
There are a lot of
For
people
good
that
reason,
like this
but
game.
whatever.
I'd say
It was cool, I guess. Whatever.
It didn't hit me because I liked another game that came out. At
You
the
know,
same
it did
time.
hit you, John. Hyrule Warriors
If you're a Dynasty Warriors fan
with Zelda.
or a
Link.
Zelda fan, you'll like this game.
Yeah, I
we
think
were
that's
just
cool.
talking about this whole time. No innovation. You know,
Yeah.
same thing over and over again. I'm not looking forward to Hyrule Warriors.
don't
That's
think-
going right over my radar. But
I don't think that's.
innovation,
I don't
you
think
know?
that's innovation though. It's a rehash with it's a new skin.
That's
Oh,
what
so
he's
it's
saying.
out-
That's what he's
no,
saying.
he's saying it is innovation.
I'm saying it is like some new with Link and the rest of the game.
It's not new though.
It's just
Is it the Dynasty Warriors doing
Yeah.
it?
It's same.
Oh.
It's like
Yeah.
it's
Technical
the
Koi's
same
making
turn.
it.
I retract.
it's Dynasty Warriors with
Zelda,
Zelda characters.
It's no different than we were talking. It's Toad in a Mario game. You know what I mean?
I would
Okay.
play this game, but it still doesn't want to make me buy a Wii U.
I retract
If I
the
had a
statement.
Wii
I thought it was
U,
Nintendo still making it.
Yeah.
I would buy this game, but without a Wii U, I'm not buying that game.
I don't know. It's cool. Maybe give it a shot. Don't really. Whatever.
How about another rehash, Kirby and the Rainbow Curse?
Yeah, I saw that one on there.
But is it a double rainbow? If they make it a double rainbow, I'm in.
And is it a
Yeah.
gypsy curse?
It's just apparently it's a sequel to some DS game, but it doesn't really.
It doesn't really strike me.
Like
as
most
something
things on this
that's,
list, it doesn't really matter. Splatoon, that kind of looked cool. What do you guys
Splatoon.
think of Splatoon? That doesn't. It's new. It's.
I
different.
heard someone say if you don't think Nintendo can come up with new IPs, look at Splatoon.
This is the first one in
I'm
what,
like,
a decade.
ooh! And first of all, it's not Nintendo making it; they just picked up the developer that's making it.
Did you guys
So
see the video of the three guys that worked on it? Like, it's
I don't know. I thought it was
like
interesting.
they're
I
like the
didn't
most
catch
nerdiest
that.
Japanese guys I've ever seen in my life. Like, it was awkward.
You're saying there's not a nerdy Japanese guy? Speaking of racism,
No, I'm just
Oh,
saying. I'm just
crap.
saying. These
It's on
three,
you now.
these three gentlemen. I'm sure they're very talented at what they do. But it was
Far
one of the
Cry
most.
5.
It was very awkward. It was very awkward.
Eh.
But yeah, it's another Kirby game.
I don't know. It's cool.
Kirby's
I think,
cool.
I think it borrows a lot of concepts from stuff we know of, like I can't remember of the paint game. The Blob. There you go. Got it. Pulled it out of the memory bank. It's basically using the Blob's paint characteristics of painting the universe. You can two teams fight each other. You gotta jump through your paint, go quicker, or if you get in the enemy paint, you're going slower. It looks like a fun game that I'd play for like maybe a day, but it just I don't see.
Like most
Is there gonna
Nintendo
be like
games.
an upgrade system? Do you upgrade your paint? Like I don't see how
Put some
there's
some
any
iodine in your paint.
I don't see how
Some
there's
latex
any like
acrylic
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
bringing people to your console.
Yeah.
I still don't see a game that makes me want.
It looks cool, but really, the reason we all watch this, the reason Nintendo, that's like their home run, Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, Anthony. This is the one.
Yeah,
this is the
the
system
one.
seller. This is the game. This is the one.
Unfortunately, it's never coming out.
It will come out eventually
It's
on
fall
3DS and Wii
2014.
U. 3DS and Wii U.
It's coming out on 3DS first. Does anyone else think that's a huge mistake?
I think that
Yeah.
got pushed back though. It
Yeah.
got pushed back again.
Well, yeah, it
The
was.
3DS.
I think
No, they
they're
announced that
the
during
3D,
the
the
conference.
3DS is fall, and the
No.
and the Wii U is the holiday
At,
season.
on their E3 conference, they announced 3DS October 4th.
Anthony, this is the game, is it not? This is the one.
Well, speaking as a guy who's played Super Smash Bros. Religiously ever since the first one came out, I will be lying to all of you if I said it would be any different than the other ones beforehand.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's different about Super Smash Bros. From the very
Wii
beginning
Fit
to
Trainer.
the modern era,
Wii Fit
is
Trainer.
the characters. And I gotta tell you guys, I am not enthused with
Wii
some of the
Fit
characters.
Trainer, man.
Wii Fit
This is
Trainer.
huge.
Pac-Man.
Heck,
This is huge.
Pac-Man's
well,
alright. You can't explain away Pac-Man.
See, I'm probably like I was talking to Danny.
Trainer.
I was talking to Danny about this earlier,
Pac-Man Origins
and
was awesome.
I somehow think that I am like the only guy on the planet who
Animal
is
Crossing's
actually
Villager.
pissed off that Pac-Man is a playable character. I mean, I get
Well,
it.
that's what I'm
You
saying,
got
yeah.
your Mario, you got Sonic,
Yeah,
you got Mega Man, and Pac-Man, the other iconic character.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
is he relevant now?
No, but is
I mean,
Mega
and
Man
that's-
relevant?
that's
No, probably
for me.
not either.
There's
no.
lots of isn't there a
Well,
Pac-Man
Let's
movie
be
in
honest,
the
is
works?
Mario
They
relevant?
already made it. One of those red box things.
See,
Indiana Pac was one of them.
and like, for me, Pac-Man would be okay if they didn't waste a character slot on the Wii Fit Trainer. I'm
Yeah,
sorry,
oh,
Danny. I know you
garbage.
got a hard on for that
I
male.
I cannot
that male Wii
believe
Fit
they
Trainer
brought the
there,
greatest
but-
character into
Who
Super
did they
Smash
at the end
Bros.
of the press conference? They announced another.
The me.
No, there's
They,
some girl. Wasn't it?
Oh,
like,
she's
Oh,
from
from,
Hyrule, is she? Or
No, from Pit's game. It's not coming to me. now.
Palutena.
Kidding.
Or Palutena. or
yes,
whatever.
because Zelda and then
she had a sword.
other.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was too focused looking
I was
at
like, is that a
Wii
cool
Fit Trainer's
announcement?
abs.
They spent like 10 minutes on that announcement. I was like, ooh, some
like,
random girl.
she had a
that I've
big
never heard of.
video.
She had a big video. To me, I'm not that excited about it. I mean,
I
she's
know
been a
she
minor
is.
character in Pit series. not minor character, but
Yeah.
I mean,
But, well,
it's,
they spent a lot of time on this me thing. You get
Yeah,
to create.
yeah.
I think that's
People are
kind of
fighting
cool.
for the
It's
money.
kind of a cop out as far as innovation,
or
me,
well-
whatever. But it's kind of cool.
it's about as close to character creation as you're going to get.
Exactly. Yeah.
And for me, they could go one of two ways with that. They announced the 3 different styles that you can choose
Mm-hmm.
from. I mean, but if you choose your me and just one of the 3 styles, I mean, that's kind of meh
yeah.
to me. I mean,
Let's get another meh.
Like
let's
for
let's get
example,
another meh here.
yeah,
Let's give us another meh.
meh.
There you go.
But for me, if you can choose, like, let's say you want to choose the sword style
Yeah.
from Super Smash Bros. If you can integrate different moves from different sword wielding characters in the game, for me that'd be a kind of a cool idea.
Mm-hmm,
But if it's just like a solid preset, like clone of Link
Lame,
or
yeah.
whatever, then it's just kind of like I'll just play as Link.
I think it totally announced it's because there's the 3 classes and then each one has different combos you can just decide to use. I think they came out with like 32 different styles. I
Yeah.
think you need more than 32.
Yeah, I do too.
Well, yeah, they mentioned like it's cool. You can create your own characters. They
Yeah.
won't be those exact characters, but
But-
you create Mr. T, and he's
And
a
we're
me,
we're
and
gonna see a lot of Hitlers.
a lot of
A
Hitlers.
lot of Hitlers.
Lots of
Hitlers.
people with my clan's
Yeah,
hoods on.
Hitler
Yeah.
versus Kim Jong Il.
yeah. John's gonna be making a lot of his guys. But yeah, Super Smash Bros. That's gonna be big. That is the game.
Can I talk about a guilty pleasure of mine that was shown at the conference?
Is it PG or was it something you're doing while watching the conference?
'Cause
When I watched
mean-
this game show, I was
Whenever you mention John and guilty pleasure in the same sentence, I always.
I'd
get a
just
little
like to
worried.
point out John isn't actually wearing pants during this podcast.
well, oh, you guys are. Did I forget the memo?
It's a skort. It's a skort. Those are still in.
Anyways, Monolith Soft showed off some Xenoblade Chronicles
Yeah,
X.
that's a big one.
Probably my favorite JRPG of the last 10, ever since Final Fantasy X, is probably Xenoblade Chronicles. And this game looks like the world's gonna be just as beautiful, the story's gonna be just as great, the combat's gonna be just as complex, and the amount of enemies you get to fight is gonna be just as broad. And I can't wait.
See,
This is gonna be my system seller.
I never played Xenoblade, but with a name like Xenoblade, how can you go wrong? Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
cool name.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
So many
Xenomorphs.
Xeno, man. Xeno is
Big
like.
alien fan.
How come
Xenomorph.
there's no more Xeno games? Just
Exactly.
put Xeno in your game. Xeno Mario. I'd buy.
Mario Xeno Edition? Legend of Zelda, another big one.
Big game, not a
Big
very
game,
big trailer.
open world
Yeah.
though. You got to be excited for the open world. Give me
I am very excited for the
nostalgia
open world.
for Ocarina of Time when you see him on the horse
If
there.
you guys see my bio, that's my game
That,
all the time.
that
right
looks
there.
freaking badass.
I'll have to admit, ask me how many games of Zelda I've completed, and I'll say 0. I've played the 3DS game, Link Between Worlds,
Link Between Past.
and I was got hooked on that for a while. I kind of stopped playing it, but the open world doesn't have me intrigued. But I think how excited people are getting over the trailer they showed is kind of.
Because they didn't show all that much.
They showed a Vista.
It's basically a cinematic.
They basically
trailer.
show
then-
that it's happening.
And then they showed things moving, and I thought, oh, cool, this is the game. And then it was a cutscene, and it's like,
What do you think
so
of the art style?
Is this Vista just part of the cutscene, or is this actually what the gameplay is going to look
Very,
like?
very different art style, it seems.
I love their style. You
Kind of
know,
graphic
very
novel.
Wind Waker.
Yeah, graphic novel.
you know?
I'd say it's
It looks cool. If it could be
Fits into
anything
the
like
Zelda
Ocarina of
universe.
Time, I'm gonna be in.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if they stay away from some of the stuff they've done in the past, you stick with that Ocarina feel. You'll have all the fanboys on board with that, and that's gonna be a huge success. And just the name Zelda really is huge.
It's a selling point.
What I was wishing to see with this trailer, though, is that the creator of Legend of Zelda, can't remember his name, can't pronounce it if I knew it.
Michael Bay.
He was talking about how this Zelda is actually going to break the walls down of like previous Zelda. You know, you go to this dungeon, you go to that dungeon, game
Yeah.
over, and like, you know, maybe even like there was
Little
talks of
Elder
like a
Scrolls.
co-op kind
Yeah,
of thing,
yeah.
but we saw nothing. Nothing that's going to show that this Zelda's different.
And you know, to me though, if they put in a co-op version, like a co-op function in Zelda, I think that would just break the game. I mean, because we all know how Four Swords went, right? You know? So I think as much as I am a fan of multiplayer or
Yeah.
co-op, I think they need to leave that alone with Zelda. You know.
Yeah. Well, while we're on Zelda here, Majora's Mask remake is that official yet, or is we still
It
waiting?
really seems they're
in
trying to
your
hint at
dreams.
it, but
Like, geez, get
I
that
hope-
done, Nintendo.
Oh,
Let's go. Come on.
The moon gave me nightmares as a kid. I'm probably not.
the
gonna
moon,
do it.
Link
Oh.
putting on those masks.
Just in case you're wondering, this is going right over my head.
Link in the bubble bath for me, but
You know, Zelda, a little happy fun adventure. You know, in this one, he gets to put on masks and he turns into different characters. He puts on the mask and he shrieks bloody murder.
Come on,
like
you,
he's in.
you know a thing or two about masks, John, especially white ones. You racist,
Jerk.
you sick man, you.
Anything
You
else?
sick man. Anything else? Of course. Amiibo figures, huge.
They're,
Amiibo figures, guys.
fine.
You put this on the Wii U gamepad, okay? And it transfers data from the character to the Wii U gamepad and back to the character. So your character grows and evolves as you play. It's just huge. This is revolutionary. This has never been done in the industry yet.
Infinity.
Yeah, Nintendo a little late to the party on this one.
But they'll probably still
Honestly,
make a lot
though,
of money.
that's right up Nintendo's alley.
yeah, you
know?
think, yeah, this is
Yeah.
kind of a long. We've been waiting for this for a while.
I'm
It's
surprised
overdue.
Disney didn't, or they didn't do it before Disney. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Well, Skylanders, Disney Infinity, now you got Nintendo doing it, so I think it's going to be a success. The thing they showed was you got a Mario character and you put him on to play Smash Bros. I don't know how that works. Because
How it works is that character is like your partner. So as you're playing the game, your partner is getting stronger too, right? So if you get, from what I've understood, my little brother was really into this. From what he told me, when you're in a bind or when you're in like
Yeah.
a 4-player game, instead of teaming up with like a regular AI, you can put your figure on
My
there.
Mario?
Yeah, like your Mario, your Link, or
Pac-Man,
well,
Wii Fit Trainer.
Oh, shut up! I'm gonna punch you in the mouth.
so what? This guy plays like you would play, or what?
No, it's just like a regular AI, I guess. But he gets like.
But you got to pay $20 for him.
yeah, it's pretty
That
much.
sounds
See, that
awesome.
sounds
Shit.
pretty. That sounds pretty dumb.
People spend a lot of money on that stuff.
It's cool. Like if the figures had a purpose, like say if you could buy a figure that wasn't in the game and then you put him in the thing.
Honestly, I'm sad I wasn't a kid during this age of gaming because I'd be masturbating all over these little figures.
I'm glad I grew up when
Kids, what are don't masturbating, don't do it.
Yeah, I'll stick with
And,
what I. Yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna. Yeah,
I'm not gonna touch that.
you would have been a fan of Splatoon then. is what you're saying. You would have.
Straight fan of Splatoon.
You would have Splatooned everywhere. I
Oh,
bet.
double entendre there. Okay.
What was your color? Red. Splatoon.
You should get
Blue,
that checked.
always blue.
Yeah, get that checked. So yeah, Nintendo. I think this. I say this was a pretty decent one for them. Decent conference, you know.
The way we've been talking, I don't think it was.
Well,
Not for me.
of course they have their drawbacks, but whether they're rehashes or not, just the fact that Smash Bros is huge. Zelda, whether they showed us gameplay or not,
Smash
is huge.
Bros is huge for a set amount of people.
I'd say anybody.
It's not as big
I
as
say-
Mario Kart.
The Nintendo people are.
If
Well,
Mario
obviously-
Kart's not selling that much,
I
then
would say
Super
Smash Bros
is.
means more to Nintendo than Uncharted means to Sony, and then Quantum Break means to Xbox.
Well, that's because Sony has much more than Uncharted. Nintendo really only has Super Smash.
Well, that's the thing. That's why I'm giving them such a good grade for including it, right? You know?
But
I
we
think you
already
can
knew
only
about
give them a
Smash
grade
Bros.
for
yeah. Well, for
That's
Nintendo's
what gives
sake,
them a grade.
for Nintendo's sake, the Reggie fighting scene alone was an A+. But for Nintendo, usually it's garbage. Usually it's little hints of crap we don't care about.
I'd say not. I disagree, but
What?
okay.
It's not every year they come out with Smash Bros.
They came out with that last year.
And the year before that.
No, well, this is the year.
This
it's
is
coming
the year
out.
they showed it.
This is the year it's
Yeah,
coming out.
It's
Until
not.
it
It's
gets pushed back to
fall
2016.
2014.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
So it's-
Nintendo-
See you next E3
I'm giving Nintendo a B for at least showing us the games we want to see. We want to see Smash Bros. We want to see Amiibo.
I wanted to
obviously.
see more of Zelda.
You want? Yeah. Well, at least we did see it. But yeah, there's games like Splatoon look cool. Looks cool. Bayonetta, don't care. Hyrule Warriors, personally don't care. Captain Toad, whatever. Yoshi's Woolly World, whatever. A lot of whatevers, right? But the core games were here this year, and I think that means something.
For me, I would have gave it like a D plus, but just seeing Xenoblade Chronicles X, it C plus for me. I'm looking. Splatoon interests me. Hyrule Warriors interests me. Zelda interests me. If they would show more gameplay, it's been in development for a while now. They should have been able to show more than what they showed.
Reggie.
The Reggie fight, yeah.
Yeah, that should be a game.
That gave you
Call it Reggie Fight.
Reggie
he
Fighter.
just goes around and beats
Reggie
up
and
people.
Iwata that they regret to.
Reggie's awesome though. Yeah, like this guy's got the charismatic. Like he's got the personality.
So yeah,
Reggie Fight.
Nintendo C plus, Microsoft B plus, Sony B
Anthony,
plus.
Nintendo. What do you got, man?
I'm gonna go with John on this one. I'm gonna go C plus. Again, games. I'm a Super Smash, of course. You know, all of you guys know I love Super
Yeah.
Smash. It's a great drinking game if you go for it, and if you like that kind of
Water,
thing.
of course.
Water, of course, yes.
But-
I'm also excited for Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a big hack and slash guy. I mean, I love Dynasty Warriors. You know,
You
so I'm-
are 3% Japanese, so
not really.
okay.
I'm 6'4", fellas. So,
You saw my honor.
oh no.
Racism is bad.
Shove it again. Don't worry, guys. We're gonna get him back for this at the end of the show.
So
Nintendo's never gonna let you play their games again.
I'm truly disappointed. I really want to play.
So it's a C plus, Anthony.
C plus for me.
Improvement from last year, though.
It is an improvement from last year.
It's not hard to improve on
Okay,
last year.
Kyle. What do you
I'm
got?
gonna go a little bit under. I'm just plain old C.
See?
Nothing. I didn't watch this conference, and I didn't like flip my table over anything.
No, exactly. Yeah.
They did give us some games we want. You know, we saw Zelda, we saw Smash Bros, but
Yeah.
what did we see of it?
Well, I think we should include Mario Kart. Not part of this conference, but for this year for Nintendo, that was a big one, right?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Mario
And, you know,
Kart.
I love Mario Kart. Again, good drinking game.
Yeah, I wrote a review on Mario Kart, so you guys definitely should check
Check
that
that
out.
out.
Check that out.
Check out.
What'd you give it?
I gave Mario Kart actually about I think I gave it an 8.5 or an 8.
8.
What really took away from the game for me was the dismal character selection.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Koopa kids. or
Koopa
whatever.
kids.
The-
Give me
the
Lemmy or give me death.
Yeah, exactly.
on.
You know, and
Give me
I
Metal
think
Luigi.
I think it's great that Nintendo's like, woo, we got DLC.
Yeah.
But you know, put your iconic characters into it, right? I mean, like
Yeah,
put
the
get your
Mercedes. The Mercedes. Dude.
I say, when do we stop screwing around and we just do, you know, Smash Bros. Kart?
Smash
Well,
Bros.
it's inevitable that Link and all these guys are going to be in this game.
I like the way the world rotates as you're driving, but I find it really hard.
That's
to
from
find-
drinking, John. The world doesn't actually.
But I find that
Too much pop.
Don't drink and
His
drive.
stomach gets
kid.
fizzy.
I find that the finding out where the main road is extra hard when
Once
you're doing
again,
that.
that's from drinking. Yeah.
And another big feature for me that
Getting
I like
in and out
is
of the
that
car
the
is-
transitions from the glider to the cart and
Seamless.
vice versa, they're very,
Seamless,
very, and word for word from my review guys.
And
But,
the graphic quality.
I'm
is
liking-
insane. Like,
Yeah.
I'm liking the new power-ups and things,
Yeah.
the shooting the fireballs at people. And
Yeah, definitely highlight the power ups.
and seriously, guys, if you have not heard the Luigi death stare, I got that a few times, and I'll be honest, I picked Luigi just so I don't get the death stare.
They showed that in the conference as well, the Luigi Death
Reggie
Stare.
Death Stare. You get the Reggie Death Stare too. Guys, Reggie.
Reggie,
Do some love.
the king of all.
Okay, we're gonna end this whole podcast off the Bacon Bad podcast. Probably should have mentioned that more throughout, just so you know what you're listening to.
Do we want to mention some of the shoutouts of great games we saw at E3 and Ubisoft?
Yes, I do. I want to touch on some of that stuff.
Hey,
too,
you-
eh?
Because we saw
Let it be.
Battlefront 3.
Huge.
Battlefront? Yeah.
Not
yeah.
much of it,
From
but
Dice?
Not much.
No,
They,
no.
Huge.
Speed Racer.
EA,
Cool.
they kind of announced that they're going to do it differently this show and show more like early concepts of their games. I'm intrigued at this new Star Wars, but I don't like how the graphics of the in-engine footage that they did show is how it's like so closely to the earlier movies, and it's like those look really lame now, and I think you should improve on those.
Updated a little
Yeah.
But
bit.
you
right?
can't though. It's,
Yeah, you
that's,
can.
that's what it looked like.
They did in the newer movies.
Sort of.
You update, you make it look more better. You don't make it look like it's still made in the 70s.
I know, but if you make a sequel to a movie in the 70s and you change how it looks, then it disintegrates the quality of the original.
You know,
Like,
as long as Jar Jar Binks is not a playable hero, I am okay.
I think you can always appreciate
He's our
how
Pac-Man.
good those original movies were, but they were limited by the technology.
Yeah,
they
but you
had.
got to keep a continuity throughout.
You can keep continuity. They can still look like that character, but you should be able to improve them so they
Yeah.
look a little better
Well,
and improve upon the technology that
and
they had.
especially in this modern era of gaming where graphics are the focal point of a lot of
Yeah.
games that people are buying, right? And looks and just aesthetics and things like that. You know, you have to keep that up to date.
Graphical quality, yes, but as far as the way people look, that like say like a uniform, for example, if that's what it looked like in the original movies, for continuity purposes, it should probably still.
But
look
you
like
should
that.
be able to add features.
Well, you can add for sure.
But they aren't adding anything. It looks exactly the same. Like the Stormtroopers look exactly the
the
same.
game. Well, we'll see innovation when the movie comes out, but the game.
But the game should have innovation too.
I guess to a point. Yeah. Why not? Why
But
not?
this is still early concept. I'm
That's
just
still
saying,
looking
based on
awesome
the early
game.
concept.
It's gonna be a freaking awesome game.
I know, for those Star Wars lovers, though, it's nice just to look back into your
Yeah.
childhood.
What else you got for us, Kyle?
I also got here Dragon Age.
That'd be
Third
cool.
one.
Mass Effect. Why haven't we talked about that?
That's
screw,
coming. That's the next
screw
one.
Dragon Age.
They
Mass
didn't-
Effect.
Mass-
Hey, man,
Dragon Age, man.
Dragon Age.
I've never been a Dragon Age
One was
guy. Mass
Yeah.
Effect, as you can see on the site, my favorite game of all time, the Mass Effect trilogy.
What they didn't even announce much for Mass Effect.
Well, it's coming.
That's
all I care about.
It's coming, man.
Dude, no Shep, which is very
I
saddening.
still would have liked to see more gameplay for Dragon Age.
I like how so
Yeah.
much of these games are getting rid of their former main characters and.
Well, you gotta
new
move on,
story.
right? People
Yeah.
die, right?
You know, Infamous, Killzone, now Mass Effect.
Well,
So
I mean,
possibly Uncharted, maybe?
if you're BioWare, you got to burn almost every bridge that was Dragon Age 2. I mean,
Yeah.
let's be real here, fellas.
Yeah, well, same with Mass Effect 3, the way that ended. You gotta start afresh. with
I'm
that.
still confused. Like what? Like this isn't Dragon Age 3. It's like Dragon Age Inquisition. I don't have it. I'm still kind of confused on how it works in the storyline or what's even.
They haven't
going on.
really. I don't think they've really released
Yeah,
that much about it.
They've showed generic trailers, so I'm still kind of
I mean,
like
and-
skeptical with this game.
Yeah.
the Storm BioWare headquarters. Just
Yeah.
get some info.
on,
Yeah,
on
we're-
horses. We'll do it on horses.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
Next up, then Danny tried to skip ahead here. Mass Effect, a little trailer.
Huge. Gonna be awesome.
Yeah, looks cool. Looks
I
cool.
think even more important, the new Sims. Barack Obama confirmed.
Barack Obama.
Barack
Barack.
Obama
Change.
confirmed.
Barack.
They showed a character in that whole trailer that looked exactly like Barack Obama.
And
I don't
Stephen
know.
Harper getting
And
it.
everything's gonna
I
be
don't
awesome
know if
now,
that was
guys.
intentional, but he looked like Barack Obama. And yes, for Canadian, and who that is.
And he's the
UFC.
president.
Governor of
kick-
like
oh,
California.
President of Canada.
okay. UFC.
Spit it out.
Bruce Lee kicking the crap out of BJ Penn.
Bruce
This
Lee,
is,
baby.
This is what my notes are for UFC.
I bought
Looks
UFC today.
terrible, no blood, terrible.
I haven't heard too many terribles from you tonight, man. You save it all for UFC.
The game looks horrid. It
Okay,
looks like
I bought it today. It's still in the package. I'm gonna play it when I get home.
I'm gonna go to Metacritic while you guys talk about it and see what the reviews
I don't know
are.
what that site is. We don't promote other sites.
Just did.
No, Metacritic, you're really cool.
Yeah,
I like your stuff.
we like you guys.
I like you.
Thanks for. I wish you would do it a
I'm
little bit
indifferent.
differently, but we appreciate the compilation of views.
Okay. UFC looks cool. There is blood. It's a very effective cut
yeah.
system. So
No, there's no
the cuts are realistic. The places
There were
they
zero
happen in.
cuts in the whole
Maybe
thing.
in their trailer
They showed him like getting kicked and punched, and his face was fine afterwards.
Well, maybe they had that off. Maybe cuts were switched off.
I find it funny that out of all the sports games they showed NHL, FIFA.
NHL is gonna be huge.
Where was NBA Live? They say that it's going to be improved.
Because it's a garbage.
There was no
franchise.
NBA Live, so
NBA
it's
Live
obviously
Just
I'm
confirmed,
sorry.
Madden is going to be a football game.
Madden's gonna be cool. NBA Live is horrible.
I like how you
2K,
shuffle your papers even though you're
Yeah.
holding an IV.
2K. Everybody knows 2K. Where it's at. Live is just
Yeah.
crap.
I was actually really hoping for a WWE game on the PS4.
Yeah, that's something that we missed out. WWE 2K, what, 16, 15?
Oh, 20?
15,
I don't know.
I don't even know. What year is it? Jeez. But yeah, no, missing the WWE. UFC looks cool though. I don't know why.
I just like Bruce Lee, you know, give him some nunchucks. And, you know,
I like
I'm
Bruce
good
Lee,
to go,
but if he was in a
guys.
good game.
And then that's about it for EA, but
all you
Ubisoft
got.
was-
EA Sports UFC 72 on Metacritic.
That's solid.
That's solid. Not good, but solid.
That's worse than the previous one.
John doesn't get out of bed for at least 70.
John doesn't.
They bought that game. They should have made it worse.
John doesn't know what cardio is, so he can't relate to UFC stuff.
I can stranglehold
fired.
and snap Danny's neck in 1 second, so
Probably.
he
But
should watch,
I can scream really loud though.
watch
so
what he
You
says.
should watch his tone.
I can scream really loud. So.
And then for Ubisoft's press conference, they were calling out
Wait,
all over the place.
wait,
There wasn't
wait,
much. There wasn't
whoa,
much.
whoa.
Okay, go on.
He
What
wants
do you
to
got?
diss
Whoa.
UFC some more.
The Burnout Criterion
Criterion?
showed some early footage of their new game.
Quadding and shit.
It looks like it's going to be Burnout, except with more vehicles, helicopters. That game has me excited, even though they showed like pre-alpha, not even pre-alpha, like the
It was
game's
like- it was
not
like
even
cube
like
characters?
moments. Yeah. They showed a little bit of Mirror's Edge. I was kind of disappointed.
That's
They didn't show
gonna be
much
cool.
of.
That'd
They
be
didn't
cool.
show much of Mirror's Edge. But yeah, other than that, I just want to put those kind of points in there.
And I say we end with Rainbow Six.
Oh, hey, fellas, let's not discount. I know you probably somebody that's sitting to my right is probably going to punch me in the throat, but I got to talk about Shadow of Mordor.
Oh yeah,
There
we
you
didn't
go.
hear. We didn't hear too
What?
much.
Why do I have a problem with Shadow of Mordor?
I don't know. You have a problem with a lot of things. I just keep myself.
gotta-
I think that game looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks
So
awesome.
you know,
man.
people are giving it a rough time about obviously they draw a lot of inspiration from Assassin's Creed and Batman.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although
just-
seeing more gameplay demos, I think it's a lot different than.
The whole,
Yeah.
the whole villain system's really.
Yeah, that looks. That
Yeah,
looks really
I'm
intriguing.
really excited for the Nemesis system. You know, if I want to cut off a guy's arm and let him go, I expect him to remember I did it to him, right?
Yeah.
You know.
The only thing, like, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I really like this game, but the one thing that I don't like is how the world, like where you traverse, kind of looks barren. And it kind of looks like it's boring to walk through that world. Whereas,
Well, it is set in Mordor, right? There's not a lot of environment
A
to
lot of
it.
rock, a lot of sand.
a
I
lot
think
of-
you could still make really
Lot
cool
of-
things out of that environment.
Well, I mean,
Pit stop at Hobbiton.
I think
let's
there's
just base
still-
it all in the Shire.
There's still ways. Skyrim, there was a lot of rock in Skyrim, and that world was still really cool to traverse.
I suppose you're right.
Well, we saw some gameplay where you go to little towns, villages, play.
Like,
Things like that.
the fighting looks really well done. It looks like it's
Just the
it's
fact
it's
that it's a Lord of the
balanced
Rings
and-
game is amazing.
And that it's a standalone story on its own.
and it's actually they're putting their time. They're not just gonna try throw out this game.
No conquest for
War in the
last
North.
one.
I'm looking at you.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be really cool. Hopefully that game does.
We're trying to close with Rainbow Six, but what about the crew?
The crew,
Oh,
Next-
crew,
Yeah,
Kyle,
the
what are you
crew.
doing? We
Yeah,
can't
next-
end-
The crew.
Next future
drive,
racing game.
drive across the greatest country in the world, the United States of America.
Closed beta July 23rd. It's out November 11th,
Drive Club for
2014.
life.
Drive Club.
Drive Club wasn't shown, but
No, I'm just joking.
Drive
Yeah, the
Club
crew
lost
was
me.
awesome.
They delayed that game too much for me to care about anymore.
what? Go watch some gameplay of that.
It looks cool,
That
but
game looks awesome.
the crew is gonna be my game. That's gonna be.
What did they show of the crew?
Dude, you drive from LA to New York or vice versa.
How on one premeditated road? That looks fun.
No, there'll be more roads.
So is it like if you're driving from LA to New York, is it like actual time? Because why don't I
No
just
actual
do it
time,
myself?
but it is.
They
rather
haven't.
long.
They have not said anything about how that works. They're just. This
looks
could be all
amazing.
PR buzz about how
It
big
looks
the world is.
amazing. Like,
But they literally in their trailer showed a car driving down a road.
A very nice road, and a newly paved road. So it was,
They put
Car
effort
had a
into
nice
that road.
sheen
We
to it.
don't
yeah.
really know what newly paved roads are here, guys.
yeah.
But,
Well, go to Detroit. You'll see how many newly paved roads there are there. None.
Shots fired.
Assassin's Creed Unity, I think they brought back some credibility to the franchise with
Oh, it looks cool.
Assassin's
Cool time
Creed
period.
4.
French Revolution.
Um,
amazing time
yes.
period.
with the whole like battleships, but it seems like they're getting away with that with this one. But I do like the time period.
I'm also excited about adding like a little bit of a co-op.
The
Yeah.
4-player
kind of a
thing, that's
you know.
huge. That's gonna be.
And,
That's
and
gonna
for
be
me, it'll depend on how hard or how difficult that game is. If it's just you don't need to strategize with your players and you just walk in and do your thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then for me that's kind of like I'd rather do it on my own, at least get a challenge. But if they make it so that you need to strategize or you're going to get destroyed,
Yeah.
I'm all for that. I think that's a great idea.
I agree. So guys, let's end this off here quick. We talked every press conference. We touched lightly on EA, Ubisoft. But let's just reiterate our winners and our favorite moments of the conference. I'm gonna start off Reggie fighting. My moment.
Not that hard on for Reggie, man.
Reggie is like if I could be Reggie one day, my life will be made.
For Sony, for me, No Man's Sky, Far Cry 4, and Batman were my 3 highlights.
Anthony, what was your moments of the week?
I did really, again, Assassin's Creed and Shadow of Mordor. I'm also pretty, I'm not too into the Uncharted, but
Yeah.
I appreciate the title launch. I appreciate that. But Sony just had too many big games.
I think they should just make a Mario game with the Assassin's Creed engine. That would be the game for you.
Yeah.
That would be the game.
I'm not that big into Mario games. I don't know where you're getting this from.
I don't know. We need somebody to appreciate Mario at this
Well,
table.
we could bring Jesse in here,
Yeah,
but nobody
yeah.
would ever get a
I
word in.
appreciated Mario
In the
10 years
90s.
ago.
Okay, Kyle, favorite moments. Who won?
We skipped right over it, but I really liked Rainbow Six. Very cool
Yeah,
game.
that was
But
awesome.
Started
through
off with Rainbow Six.
did we?
Yeah.
I thought we already talked about
No, Rainbow Six,
Yeah.
other than Batman, most
That's-
anticipated.
That was like 2 hours.
That's
ago.
probably my winner of E3.
So I'm going to say
Really
Sony won. Sony?
Sony barely won for me.
Microsoft lost. That's my shtick.
Sony just makes it, but they won.
Yeah, I'd say overall it was a great conference. Each company showcased some of their best stuff. Let's wrap up the first edition of the Bacon Bad podcast here at thebaconation.com. Thank you all for listening. It was a great time talking E3, one of the biggest events of the year, gaming events of the year. Let's go around the table one last time. Thank you all for joining myself this evening. To the left,
I'm Jonathan Boshansky, otherwise known as Jobo. You can follow me on Twitter at Jobo030.
you can also find him on Christian Mingle.
Ladies, he is available.
Mario637. Moving on through the table here.
All right, I am Anthony Mann. You guys can follow me at the Anthony Mann on Twitter. Check out my review of Mario Kart. Gonna go live on our launch.
Which will be soon.
Which
Or
will be
might actually
soon.
happen if you're listening now.
Yeah.
Maybe the site will be launched. You never know.
Yeah.
This is exciting.
Hey, I'm Kyle Pontus. You can follow me on Twitter at the same thing, Kyle Pontus. Thanks for viewing, everyone, and
Calmontes.
Baconation.
We'll end this off. This is your main man, Dan Chamberlain here. You can find me on Twitter at Vic Michaels. I won't get into it, but if you know me, you'll know why.
He hears voices in his head. So
Yeah, we won't get into that either. That's strictly for me and my psychiatrist only. So yeah, guys, so this has been the first edition. It's been a lot of fun. There'll be more to come, hopefully once a week, your weekly gaming podcast here at thebaconation.com. So thank you very much. And remember, folks, keep on gaming, because we'll keep on talking. Thank you very much. I just made it up, by the way. Thanks.